Okay, let us proceed in part 2 of our video presentation. Next, we have the utilizing visual storytelling can significantly enhance engagement and message retention. People process visual information faster and remember it longer than plain text. By using visual storytelling, you make your message more engaging, easier to understand, and more likely to stick in the audience's mind. This stresses the value of creating eye-catching, meaningful visuals. Complex ideas or data can be hard to grasp through words alone, but well-designed images, graphics, or illustrations can make them accessible to more people. Good visuals spark interest and make your communication stand out. Infographics are powerful tools for turning complicated data into clear, digestible visuals. They help your audience quickly see patterns, relationships, and key points, making important information easier to understand and remember. Infographics bridge the gap between data and people. So this point focuses on using short videos to tell stories. Videos can build an emotional connection with viewers, which help them to relate to your cause or message on a deeper level. So when people feel something, they're more likely to act, share, and remember. This underlines the importance of keeping a consistent visual style across all your platforms, like colors, fonts, logos, and imagery should match consistent, build trust, make your brand easily recognizable, and reinforces your message every time someone sees your content. So in today's digital landscape, data is essential for creating community outreach initiatives that truly make an impact. So let's break down how this works in practice. Okay, so number one, we have to analytics utilization. For example, we need to imagine we run a Facebook page for a community health campaign. By checking our page insights, we notice that posts about healthy meal recipes get more shares and comments than general health tips. And this tells us our audience wants practical and everyday advice, so we focus more on that kind of content. Instead of guessing, we make informed decision based on real data. And also we have the framework. Let's say we have a diverse audience, students, parents, and senior citizens. By analyzing survey data, we learn that students prefer quick video tips. Parents want printable guides, and seniors prefer community talks or radio. So we create short TikTok videos for students, downloadable, checklists for parents, and local radio spots for seniors. So using data, this way ensures our message reaches each group in a format they actually use. And also about the impact measurement methods, we need impact measurement methods. For example, after launching a recycling awareness drive, we can measure success by tracking how many households signed up for recycling and how many kilograms of waste were diverted or how many people attended our workshop. So if the numbers show low participation in certain areas, we know we need to adjust our approach there, or maybe more door-to-door outreach or partnership with schools. So by using the analytics or tailoring our messages and measuring impact, we make sure every outreach effort is guided by real evidence, not assumptions. So this is how we create strategies that are more effective, engaging, and valuable for the communities we serve. So let's now focus on audience engagement, which one of the most critical component in successful media advocacy. So on the slide, we can see the pie chart, which breaks the key drivers of audience engagement and their respective impact on social change initiative. So starting the largest section, the visual storytelling, which accounts for 2025. This shows that people connect more with images, videos, and stories that resonate emotionally. So using real faces, local stories, and community experiences enhance message retention. So this visual storytelling is 22.5%, People remember 65% of visual content after 3 days compared to only 10% of written content. So my source here is Medina J. 2014 Brain Rules Peer Press, supported by Nielsen Norman Group 2019. A visual increase use engagement and retention. Next is clear messaging at 21.25%. This means that advocacy efforts must be clear, simply, and easy to understand. Avoiding jargon and staying consistent across platforms helps build trust and action. So messages that are simple and consistent are 2 times more likely to be trusted and shared. So my source here, it's Help C et al. 2007, made to stick why some ideas survive and others die. And also I have the WHO Risk Communication Best Practices, Harvard Kennedy School Center for Public Leadership. And also I got this, the information in data-driven content makes up 20%, showing the importance of using credible statistics like such as graphs and verified facts. Audiences are more likely to believe and support causes that are backed by real data, and fact-based storytelling builds credibility and mobilizes support faster than emotional appeals one. And you can see the source there or my references. And also, next, we have the ethical considerations in new media. Okay, so in this slide, we focus on one of the most essential pillars of ethical advocacy, truthfulness, and credibility. So in the age of information overload and digital, misinformation advocacy must be grounded in truth to be respected and effective. So let's walk through each key element. So commitment to truth. At the heart of the advocacy lies the responsibility to present accurate. So, and reliable information, whether we're raising awareness, calling for action, or information policy, we must ensure that we share is rooted in facts. So this commitment builds public trust, which is foundation of any credibility movement. Okay, next we have also fact-checking importance. One way we uphold truth is through fact-checking tools. Platforms like Verifiles and Rappler's fact check allow advocates to verify claims before sharing. This not only protect our audience from falsehoods, but also boosts our credibility and shows that we care about accuracy, not just retention. Followed by transparency and communication. Transparency means being open about we or where our information comes from. So who we represent and what our intentions are. So when we communicate with honesty, we strengthen connections with audiences and stakeholders. So people are more likely to support causes when they feel the communicator is trustworthy and authentic. So next, we have also the trust building strategies. Finally, trust is not earning overnight. It's built over time through honest narrative. So respectful dialogue and consistency. When audiences see that our advocacy is not driven by manipulation, but by sincerity, they are more likely to engage, support, and even become advocates themselves. So in summary, when we advocate with truth, transparency, and accountability, we don't just reach audiences. So we inspire them to act, because in advocacy, trust is not just a value, it's a strategy. Okay, so next we have the slides highlight that respect for privacy and informed consent is paramount in all advocacy efforts. So this is not just a suggestion, it's a non-negotiable standard. So let's dive a bit deeper into privacy protection. In advocacy, we often deal the sensitive information, personal stories. So safeguarding user data is not just good practice, it is absolutely essential to maintaining trust and upholding ethical standards. So if the individuals we advocate for don't trust us with their information, our efforts will be severely hampered, and rightly so. So our credibility relies on our commitment to protecting their privacy. So this leads us directly to informed that consent practices, privacy, and informed consent are two sides of the same coin. So obtaining informed consent ensures that participants are fully aware of and explicitly agree to the use of their data. This means clearly explaining. So what data will be collected, how it will be used, who will be access to it, for how long it will be retained, and crucially, that they have the right to withdraw their withdraw their consent at any time. So it's about empowering individuals and giving them control over their own information when they have informed consent. So it builds a strong foundation of transparency and mutual respect, which is vital for any successful and ethical advocacy campaign. Okay, so in this slide, we emphasize the critical role of ethical communication in advocacy, especially when addressing misinformation and ensuring cultural sensitivity. So let's begin with the first point. So we have here the combating misinformation. One of the biggest challenges in advocacy work today is the spread of misinformation. This can be distort public understanding and hinder progress. To counter this, we must use proactive communication by sharing accurate, verified information, and community education. It's about engaging with the public directly and continuously to build trust and dispel myths. Next, we have the cultural sensitivity training. Ethical communication must also respect cultural diversity. Through cultural sensitivity training, we help advocates understand and appreciate different cultural values, beliefs, and practices. So this promotes respectful dialogue and prevents miscommunication ultimately, and this could help create more inclusive and responsive communication environment. Next, we have also the inclusive representation. We must ensure that all voices, especially from marginalized communities, are heard and represented in advocacy initiatives. Inclusive representation strengthens communication by bringing diverse perspectives and experiences to the table. It also builds credibility and reinforces our commitment to fairness and equity. So to summarize this, ethical communication is not just about what we say. It's about how we say it, who we listen to, and how we make others feel heard. By addressing misinformation, practicing cultural sensitivity, and ensuring inclusive representation, we foster trust and integrity in every advocacy effort. Now, let's take a look at the key ethical considerations that guide communication in the context of new media advocacy. So you can see the chart illustrates the 5 core ethical principles and the percentage of emphasis or adherence as reported in the recent communication studies. And okay, as a future leaders and communicators, let's use new media not just for visibility, but for value-driven impact. Okay, so here's my references. As we wrap up this presentation, I want to emphasize one important truth. New media is more than just a communication tool. It is a platform for influence, a vehicle for empowerment, and a voice for the voiceless. But the power of digital advocacy is not measured by the number of likes or shares. It is measured by how well we uphold truth, integrity, and respect in every message we send. We must always ask ourselves, are we helping or harming? Are we empowering or exploiting? Are we inspiring action or simply seeking attention? Because in the end, ethical advocacy builds lasting impact, while careless communication can destroy trust in seconds. Let us commit to being responsible, strategic, and compassionate in the way we use media for change. Thank you for your attention, and God bless.